This was pretty easy to prepare, although chicken is historically kind of difficult to cook because it's very hard to tell when it's actually done. So how does a meal kit delivery service like Sunbasket that focuses more on specialty diets compare to one with more broad appeal like Home Chef? Well, you clicked on the right video. This is exactly what we're gonna be talking about. Hey, how's it going? This is Owen. I am with CNET.com, and in today's video, we're comparing Sunbasket to Home Chef. I tried both meal kit delivery services for an entire week, and I got a pretty good feel for what they're all about. In this video, we're gonna talk about how these two services are similar, aside from having food delivered right to your door. And then we're gonna talk about their key differences and why you might wanna get Home Chef and why you might wanna get Sunbasket. If you find this video at all helpful or interesting, make sure you give it a thumbs up and you subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot of good stuff on this channel that you're gonna wanna watch. Also, both Home Chef and Sunbasket have pretty generous introductory offers for your first box. So we'll have links for you in the description if you're curious about either one at the end of the video. So let's just briefly talk about what these meal kit delivery services have in common, and it's really not all that much. They're actually quite a bit different. So obviously I know taste is a very subjective category. Everyone likes different things, has different tastes, but I found both Home Chef and Sunbasket to be overall very delicious. Of course, the meals that I tasted will be different than the ones that you'll receive if you decide to go with one of these two services, but I think you'll be pleased with how good the recipes taste. I didn't notice a significant difference between the quality of the ingredients, although I will say that Sunbasket goes to a lot more effort to make sure that all their ingredients are certified organic, and if there's something in your box that isn't organic, they will let you know. On the other hand, Home Chef's ingredients aren't necessarily always gonna be organic. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. Depends on seasonality and what they're able to source. If you are really focused on organic ingredients, you can sub them in sometimes for certain Home Chef recipes, but you're gonna get more consistently organic ingredients with Sunbasket. If organic is really important to you, then obviously Sunbasket gets a pretty big win here, but I don't think it really affects the taste. I think with either service, you're gonna be getting some very tasty meals. Yes, it's really, really good. The burger is cooked very well, nice and seasoned. The softness of the mozzarella kind of counteracts the nice chewiness from the ciabatta. That's really good. That's really, really good. But aside from the taste, I don't really think these two services have anything in common aside from that. So let's start getting into their key differences now. And I wanna start with the packaging. I know that packaging probably isn't that exciting of a topic, but I think it's pretty important because one of the value propositions of a meal kit is cutting down on food waste. So obviously you're not gonna wanna cut down on food waste and then immediately offset it with other types of waste. So this is pretty important. Sunbasket does a really good job of making sure as much of the stuff that is in the box is recyclable. The ingredients for each recipe are actually put in paper bags, which are reusable and more easy to recycle than plastic. A lot of places won't actually accept any plastic recycling, even if it has that little logo on it. The ice packs are easy to recycle, and the insulation is actually made from recycled denim, which I think is pretty cool. Home Chef, I think, does a solid job, just not quite as good as Sunbasket. The insulation in the ice packs and the box itself is obviously recyclable with Home Chef, but the ingredients themselves for each recipe are actually bagged in these plastic bags, which are recyclable depending on where you live. I have found that the plastic bags are reusable in certain instances. They do have holes in them for breathability, which does make the greens last a bit longer, so you're not gonna be able to hold any liquids in them, but I've found they're pretty solid for some leftovers. So Sunbasket gets a bit of an edge here, although the differences between all the meal kits that I've tested are pretty minimal. I don't think you'll have to worry about feeling really guilty about all the waste you're creating with pretty much any meal kit service. The next topic we need to cover is variety of meals. And the variety of meals are gonna be pretty much equal in number for Sunbasket and Home Chef, but one of the big selling points of Sunbasket is that they cater to a lot of different specialty diets. If you are vegetarian, vegan, pescatarian, paleo, you have those options available to you with Sunbasket. You can actually sort the recipes every week by those categories. Home Chef does have those options, but a lot of the times you're gonna have to sub out a specific protein or a different item to make the meal fit that specific category. If you do follow those specialty diets, you should be able to find stuff that'll work for you with Home Chef. I just think you'll have a much easier time with Sunbasket if you do follow one of those diets. The next thing I want to talk about is the instructional quality and just the ease of preparation for all of these recipes. Now, I found that Sunbasket's recipes were just overall pretty easy to prepare because they were so simple and they were a bit more hands-off. For example, the tacos that I made with Sunbasket had a already prepared sauce, while in other meal kits, you might have to make that sauce yourself. That's either a big plus or a big minus. Personally, I kind of like the more hands-on approach, like making a sauce from scratch, because I might learn a little something. With Home Chef though, you have more hands-on recipes and really quick and easy to make recipes like Sunbasket. For example, the prosciutto penne dish that I made also had pre-made sauces and fresh pasta, which made the dish really quick and easy to make, and it was absolutely delicious. Wow. When it comes to the actual recipe cards themselves though, I definitely give Home Chef a pretty significant edge here. Of the meal kits I've tested, Home Chef probably has the best instruction cards. Not just because the instructions are super thorough and easy to follow, they have a preparation phase, which I really like. I like just chopping everything I need to chop and having everything ready to go before I really start diving into the recipe itself. Plus, it has a cook within time frame on all of the cards. So, for example, certain greens like asparagus, spinach, kale, that stuff can go bad much more quickly than some other types of food. So on one Home Chef card, it might say cook within 3 days of when you receive it. And then there's one that says cook within 5 days. So you can more easily plan out which recipes you're gonna cook for that week with Home Chef. And Home Chef does have a skill rating on all of their recipes, which I also think is pretty fantastic. They have easy, intermediate, and expert. I found that the easy recipes were actually very easy, and then the intermediate ones were a bit more challenging. If you're not that comfortable in the kitchen with Home Chef, you can just start off with some easier recipes, maybe throw in an intermediate one here or there, and then after a couple weeks, maybe try out an expert one and see how you do. And since the instructions are so thorough and easy to follow, I'm guessing if you're not comfortable in the kitchen and you get an expert recipe, you'll probably be fine. You just might not be able to complete it in their estimated time frame. Then the other big difference that I found between Home Chef and Sunbasket is gonna come down to pricing. Sunbasket is gonna be significantly more expensive than Home Chef. So the pricing can get kind of confusing with all these meal kits because they're trying to advertise their lowest available price. So they list their price per serving as opposed to price per meal. So if you're looking at the price per serving, you essentially have to double it. So with Sunbasket, you're looking at about $12 per serving, which means you're paying about $24 per meal. And the usual sort of meal kit standard is 3 meals per box. So with the $10 shipping charge, you're gonna be spending roughly $80 per week. Home Chef, on the other hand, is quite a bit cheaper. You're looking at about $8 per serving, which is sort of right in between most of the meal kits that I've tested so far. And I think that is a really solid price point for what you're getting with Home Chef. A $20 difference per week is pretty significant. That's a whole extra meal if you're with Home Chef. And that price point is pretty hard to compete with unless you're looking at something like Every Plate or Dinnerly. So that ultimately leaves us with the big important question: who should think about getting Home Chef and who should think about getting Sunbasket? And I think the answer is pretty clear. Go with Sunbasket if you are on some kind of specialty diet, maybe you're pescatarian, vegan, paleo, whatever, they will have great options available to you. And if you put a lot of stock in eating only organic ingredients, that is also a really big selling point of Sunbasket. And on the other hand, I would say go with Home Chef if you don't really follow a specialty diet and you just want some delicious meals at a more affordable price point. Me personally, I am a huge fan of Home Chef. I loved all the meals, and I was expecting the price point to be higher for how good the meals were. But that's not to say that Sunbasket isn't good. I loved all the meals, they're both delicious. But I think Home Chef just has a bit more mainstream appeal. But let us know what you think. Which of these two meal kit delivery services would you try first? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to get your thoughts. And don't forget to look down below in the description. We should have discount codes available for your first order. Pretty much every single meal kit delivery service has a very generous intro offer, and these two are no exception. So if you're curious, go down there and take a look. If you found this video at all helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up and you subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot of stuff that you're gonna wanna see. But that's enough for me. Thanks for watching. This is Owen with CNET Home. I'll see you in the next one.